You know the story. It's heavy in the air. When a father turns to shadows, how could you even dare? Yo, Will Henry, you a sucker. Let's break it down. Claim you a man, but where's your crown? Put your hands up, kid. You taught him how to fight, but you ain't fighting right, man. This ain't no light. You grab your son, run off like a thief in the night. Where's the love? This ain't how you raise a child, right? Kicking your son out like he's just a game piece. How you claim to be a dad, forgetting his release. Will Henry, you a sucker. Can't you see the glare? Claiming blackmailing the myth. You think no one cares? Special needs child, you're running from the truth. But every word you spit just reveals your own you. Admitting the violence, it's hard for me to trust. Fighting your kid, nah, that's just unjust. 6'2", but he's still your son at the core. Raising fists over lessons, that ain't what you for. Talk about forgiveness, but you let ego reign. Dragging things out like a puppet on a chain. You think you're tough, man, but underneath is weak. Claiming power with fists when it should be love you seek. Allegations swirling, made public and raw. Yet you try to justify and glaze over the flaw. Just look in the mirror, see the man you become. A name in the charts, but what's under that drum? Will Henry, you a sucker, got all eyes on you. Blackmailing violence, is that the best you can do? Special needs child, you claim it's all fine, but the truth's in the lineup is living in every line. Will Henry, you a sucker, got all eyes on you. Blackmailing violence, is that the best you can do? Special needs child, you claim it's all fine, but the truth's in the lineup is living in every line. Look, I'm not built to watch a man tear down his own. You need to change direction before the seed you sown. A name ain't a warrior. It's the truth that empowers. So rise up, Will, and stop hiding in the towers.
Yo, let's keep it real. It's a turtle tail. No detail too small. Yeah.
Yo, shout out. This diss track right here was inspired by Karen Reed text message.
Double down on the mess like it's all a game. Talking big, selling our world, but don't it feel lame? Jokes about her parents thought it make you tough, but she lost her home, that struggle is rough. You asked her to rock it with you, to hit the stage, but she turned it down, see who's stuck in the cage. Turtle, turtle, where's the hustle, where's the grind? Living on the couch, man, that's no way to unwind. Your case came along, put you on a path. While Karen stays real, you just do the math. Free Karen, we ain't stopping now. Shout out JFK, Kevy kept holding it down. Jay Brill with the beast, yeah, we spitting facts. Turtle's just a mirror showing all your tracks. Free Karen, we ain't stopping now. Shout out JFK, Kevy kept holding it down. Jay Brill with the beast, yeah, we spitting facts. Turtle's just a mirror showing all your tracks. Karen ain't never treated you with hate or spite. Never shared your secrets, never dimmed your light. But you took them shots, throwing dirt in the game, putting her on blast like it's all just for fame. And let's talk about the couch, man, that's where you lay until the truth hit. Then you found your own way, she didn't mock you, nah. She was family, no lie, but you breaking that bond, bro, that's goodbye. Yeah. Turtle, turtle, listen up, it's time to rise. Living in that shadow, all those tired alibis. Karen's got her strength, yeah, she knows a place. While you hide behind the hate, can't keep up the pace. Free Karen Red, we ain't stopping now. Shout out JFK, Kevy kept holding it down. Jay Brill with the beast, yeah, we spitting facts. Turtle's just a mirror showing all your tracks. Free Karen Red, we ain't stopping now. Shout out JFK, Kevy kept holding it down. Jay Brill with the beast, yeah, we spitting facts. Turtle's just a mirror showing all your tracks. Keep it real podcast, that's what we speak, no lies. Supporting real people, see through all the guys. Karen's got a story and we're here to tell. It's more than just a game, it's your know your track, yeah. Keep it real podcast, that's where we speak, no lies. Supporting real people, see through all the guys. Karen's got a story and we're here to tell. It's more than just a game, it's a living hell. Yeah, yeah. Turtle in the shade, can't you see? Living in denial, is that who you wanna be? Yeah, we fight for truth, we fight for right. Free can't read, together we ignite. Yo, let's keep it real. It's a turtle tail. No detail too small. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you thought it was cool playing those sides, right? Recording Karen, yeah, you lied and denied, man, what a sight. Double down on the mess like it's all a game. Talking big, selling out well, but don't it feel lame? Jokes about
Ah, shit, man. What is going on, everybody? Mic check, mic check. What's happening, everybody? How are we doing? You look around the movement, right? The Karen Reed movement, the criminal justice movement, and you see what's going on inside, like, all right, we'll just brand it a community, right? But I mean, communities are able to get along, but you see what's going on here, and all it is, it's just what Turtle Boy was doing before he stumbled upon the Karen. He don't investigate. I mean, everybody's on his Johnson or whatever, but that dude don't investigate. And now he from Tennessee. He's gonna travel from Tennessee and he's gonna come all the way down to Boston, right? And when I say Boston, see, Boston is bigger than Massachusetts. See, I say that because what Boston represents, it represents a greater part of New England. You know what I mean? So when you say Boston, I mean Boston is big. Boston's bigger than a town. Like, look at all the outside areas, Cambridge. Like, Boston is a real small part of that area. And it's even, so when you say Boston, it goes bigger than inside Boston, inside Massachusetts. And you got this Turtle Boy dude, and his buddy Will, a guy from Tennessee, and there's plenty of crimes going on in Tennessee. I shared a clip the other day. It was Not Today's Saint in 25 that showed a big list of all crimes that were going on in. So Turtle Boy, just to start trouble, he's gonna bring a guy from Tennessee all the way to Boston. Now, I know what Boston represents, and I know it's not snitching, and I know it's not telling, and I know it's not coming down here just to fabricate a crime to put a charge on somebody's back. You know what we need? We need a charity boxing event so everybody can get all this shit out of them. But listen, if we're going to have a platform, a community that's going to help get men out of prison, help get women out of prison, people like poor friggin' Eddie O'Brien. Here's a kid that's been in jail, in prison since he was 15 years old over politics. And that dude is still in jail 30 years later. If we're going to help get people like that out, you can't have a community that's doing all this BS back and forth. The immatureness of a guy named Aiden Connie, who has been a womanizer all his life, who has abused women mentally, physically, emotionally, and you accept him. You got a guy, Will Henry, what is it? Lange, or whatever it is. Here's a guy that told you he beat his special needs kid, severely beat him. And this is who you are okay with. It blows my fucking mind. These are the people that are going to help you get people out of prison. It blows my mind. Because you got people that are doing real time in jail, real life situations. And you got a piece of shit like Aiden Connie and Will fucking Galligar and all his fucking misfits. You got a dude that you call fucking Aunt Debbie that's over there slandering a reputable fucking attorney. No matter what the situation is. And I'm sure at any time, this lady could take any one of your channels down. Any one of them can come down. And I'll tell her how to do it. And everything. Your whole channel goes bye-bye. No more videos, no nothing. That's harassment. That's bullying. All people have to do is flag your channels. The whole community can get together and flag your channel. You're disrespecting a reputable attorney. Now, I don't even know. You know, the lady, I sent her some court paperwork for her to look over. But other than that, I have no idea. You know, I see her on a lot of shows, you know. People say, where'd you come from? I always been here. You know what I mean? But I had other obligations, you know, doing talk radio and stuff and promoting high school football. But I always been here, kind of just watching. But when you see all this shit that's going on, the fucking misfits, like, how is anybody gonna say, oh yeah, can you help get my son out of prison? Can you help overturn his corruption? Yeah. They're laughing at us. They're like, look at them people over there. They're acting like scavengers. All Turtle Boy did was bring this shit back to before he stumbled upon Karen Reed. Way before that. When you actually look at Turtle Boy's body of work, not the branding, not the hype, a different pattern is going to start to emerge. Investigative reporting. Yeah, right. What you find is something much simpler. Digging through public dockets, recycling. Oh my God, if it wasn't for mainstream media stories, he wouldn't have shit. He couldn't investigate nothing. Repacking other people's reporting. Making them his own discoveries. No field work. No sourcing. No real documentation. He has his snitch files. I know guys like a fucking Turtle Boy, like a Aiden Connie. Wolves. Straight up wolves. His own wife said it. What them people are saying about you, they're 100% correct. That man abused every woman he came across. Even the woman that he met along the way that he would have never had a shot of getting any play with. But because he's a blogger, oh, he's this big time blogger. Let me see if I can show you this. You know what I mean? It just pisses me off because I grew up with a lot of females in my house. My grandmothers, my mom was a single mom. And to see people, you know, step in and shitting on a lot of these, you know, the women that are going in and out of his life, I just think it's reckless, man. No one's thinking about anyone's mental health. Was anyone thinking about James Jackson's mental health? I just wanted to upset him. I just wanted to hurt him. Nobody was thinking about James Jackson, what his mental health was like. You know, talking about justice here. Like, really? Like, what if that would have went completely left and somebody in that girl's family, you know, cracked him upside his melon and he falls and he hits his head on a curb? Why? Because some alcoholic woman beat his own friggin' kid wants to tell stories all the way from Tennessee. And then you think you're going to come to Boston and be a rat. You know what I mean? You want to go press charges. Because you a witness. I think that shit's crazy. And let me tell you, he's going to turn on all y'all too. You know what I mean? You see, but boy, Kevy Kev says it. And someone said, what are you, a JFK fan? And I said, no, but I respect what JFK, Kevy Kev, James Jackson, Jay Brilliant, I respect their message. I respect what they're standing on. I respect that they say you got to stay 10 toes down. And no one gave a shit about James Jackson's mental health. Knowing you listen to that boy's story, foster homes and stuff, what he talked about, when Kevy Kev mentioned his mom's name, rest in peace, Miss Phyllis. See, I remembered. And rest in peace, Miss Janet, Jay Brilliant's mom. I remember because when Will the Glare was talking all kinds of shit about their moms, that was the 3-year anniversary that Jay Brilliant's mom had passed away. And then Kevy Kev has to come on after a 12-hour shift and just had enough and said, this would never happen in their face. And you people get to talk to a camera, I mean, like, I'm doing it now, but I'm not trying to test your manhood. And then you're thinking when we see each other, it's going to be kosher. It's going to be okay. Not in a man's world. Not where I come from, but I would be considered a hood booger. You know what I mean? Based on my demographics. I would be the W word. My house he would say I have 6, 7 satellite dishes hanging up on my house. That's what I would be. But these guys do no field work. They don't source. They don't have no original documents. They can't get a FOIA request. Just a whole bunch of third-party information dressed up to make it look pretty. And that's not journalism. That's content farming. That's being a punk. Absolutely. I like this. I don't think Glad needs to be worried about James Jackson or JFK, but he better be on the lookout for Lauren's family. We don't take that shit lightly in Boston. Facts. Because that shit's wrong. Don't know the girl, but rest in peace. But even so, I mean, they don't have to be worried about James Jackson or JFK. But the point is that he said he's going to come from Tennessee to press charges on JFK. For what? You're going to come from another state to put charges on somebody. Like, we don't do that shit here. Boston's bigger than Massachusetts. You know what I mean? Boston is like, people show up and show out for Boston, New England. It's just foul, man, the way that, I want to hurt his feelings. And I even said that, you don't think that this girl's family is hearing this stuff? You don't think that, you know what I mean? It's opening up some wounds. So good. I hope her family's at the courthouse on the 30th at 9 a.m. to ask questions. And you have that right. Go there and ask questions. They embarrassing the area, the community. But you know what? It goes a lot deeper with these cowards. But before we get into that, let me play a little song. Rest in peace, Lauren Berry. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all all. How we doing, man? Yeah, it's just not right, like we have a good opportunity here to do some damage really, we have a head start. Karen Reed stood up in front of, look how many people she knocked down already. And we have a chance to take that and move forward. But you have somebody as negative as Aiden Connie and Glare and all their misfits, you know, and what this dude Jimmy's doing, disrespecting, a reputable attorney, someone that has a real career, a career. See, a job don't pay the bills. And that's what a lot of these kids have to think about. We need a career. See, why Aiden Khan, what parent would want anyone to look up to you? What do you have to offer? The Karen Reed thing blew you up, and you're not even as big. Let me show y'all something. We're gonna see what this guy makes, right? His channel isn't making it compared to what other channels are making it. Look, he's ranked 584,803rd. Look, he's not even like he's somebody in this area, and he's definitely buying views. And the way that he's buying views, the way that he bought subs is because you go here every YouTube creator, it basically shows here what they make. The views they're getting, what day they had highs, what day they had lows, their monthly estimated earnings. See, they can't really legally put, what your actual earnings are. So they basically, they break it up. You know what I mean? So a year average, this was been, on a low, it's been 4.2 thousand. And his highest was probably around 60 grand, which was probably, just recently. Let's look over here some of these videos. This show, look, $5 on an average to 84. Now, he has a lot of curse words, so he's not being monetized in green. See, when I mean, once I get back up there, once people start sharing this stuff and subscribing, so please subscribe, because this is how you make the money in YouTube, but we got to get over the 1,000 subs first, and then we got to have watch hours. So right here, plus 20,000 views. See, but this was back, January 9th, 2026, $102. 26, 145. So the most he can make on a day, he's not even making a real day's pay. So he's relying on all them donations, like everyone, that big party he had before Christmas. Oh yeah, you gotta go Christmas shopping. Where's your money being spent? You may not care. I'm sure Betero and the other dude ain't getting all of that money. So on a high, $102, $126, $145, $93. His best day was 1.2 thousand with 303,000 views. Now go back and look on January 15th what he was streaming that day. There was probably some big news, some big shit's going on. But look, +3. It took him 3 videos to get to 303,000 views for 1.2 thousand. So yeah, that was a great day. But look at all these other averages: $33, $2. Look, 8,000 views. You know what I mean? Now recently his daily average, look, he's negative 33. He's fallen off. Negative 1,000 in the last 30 days, Turtle. They don't want to listen to your raggedy ass anymore. People are starting to get the drift that you are anti-Karen now. You anti-Karen. You and your misfits. And I think they chose the wrong side. And I think you said, you know what? This didn't the way I wanted it to. I got to get back on that Karen Reed train. But I mean, how many clever ways can you call someone to see you next Tuesday? I mean, I ain't talking for Mr. Reed, but as a father. I'm talking as a father. Mr. Reed probably don't even want to look at you. Imagine someone calling, saying all that shit about your daughter. Ooh. Like, that man don't want to look at you. Shout out, the long gamers are in the house. What's going on, everybody, man? Appreciate it. I didn't even see all the, yes, absolutely. You all caught up, Will Henry. And like I was saying earlier, man, shout out Miss Drea 1010 said, I don't think the Glare needs to be worried about JJ or JFK, but he better be on the lookout for Lauren's family, because we don't take that shit lightly in Boston. And guess what, Glare? They have questions. It's only been 2 years since that girl passed away, and as them wounds are kind of closing, because they never really close, you just rip them open. And people know. He been promoting it. Did Glare say what on the stream about the Miss Lauren girl or JFK him pressing charges? I got the video of him saying about him pressing charges. Absolutely. He said he's coming to Boston on the 30th to press charges. Absolutely. And we're gonna play the video. I gotta remember where I just put it. I think I got it on my page. It's up there. It's like a minute and change. He says, absolutely, I'm coming there and I'm pressing charges. No, I don't watch his show either, but people been sending me clips and absolutely. You know what I mean? And for what? You want to talk that shit. Now you want to come to Boston. You want to come from Tennessee, come to Boston on the 30th at Suffolk Superior Court. And you're saying you're going to be there waiting and you're pressing charges against JFK. You said, Randy, you have some problems. James Jackson talked about it. You know what I mean? And that's not honorable. I may have $1.75 in my bank account, but you know what? I got morals and integrity. So that account is full. But the Cash App is up on the top of the screen. I think it's on the left-hand side with the little like StreamYard bug on it. But it's all good. You know, yeah, he said that I think he said it on his petty stream members only. Yeah, he ends up locking them up on members only. But I'm gonna go to my page right now and see if it uploaded because my phone is like so crazy with storage, you know, like I can't do much on it, but hang on. I believe I put it up on my page. Maybe that is well that's what he said. He said JFK's in hiding. He said JFK's in hiding. He's putting all his stuff on members only. Like that ain't gonna make. Listen, whether you put your stuff on members only or not, they'll just pay the $5 and go there and watch it. You call the cops for insurance purposes only. You need a report. Absolutely. Absolutely. My house got broken into, man. Like straight up home invasion. Call the cops for what? They ain't gonna do nothing. They didn't come over here and be nosy and be like, why people want to come in your house? I mean, you steal my car. All right, I gotta call the cops. You kicked my ass, something. All right, whatever. I got my ass kicked before, and like I said, Boston's big. Boston's bigger than Massachusetts, man. Well, people are gonna see you wherever you are, and they're gonna want to ask questions. You say, oh, they only came here for the money. Ain't that what you all do? You all come here for the money. Well, I think in his title on that stream, I don't think he was feeling too well. But listen, I wish the best for you, dog. You know what I mean? Yeah, James Jackson did a stream. Shout out to James Jackson. Shout out to Kevy Kev. You know, Jay Brilliant. And like someone kind of tried to call me and said, "Oh, you a JFK fan?" And I said, "Nah." I said, "But I respect what they stand on. I respect what they represent. I'm only a fan of God." You know what I mean? But back to this little creep. Oh, I want to find that video. Yeah, I'm not sure what is going on. I don't blame JFK for taking a break or whatever he's doing. Nah, shout out to him. There's probably bugs going around and shit. You know, I'm sure like I think he said something about the Waffle House coffee, which that could be kind of deadly, man. I've been to them Waffle Houses. You know what I mean? We used to put IROX in the bag. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding, Glare. Don't call the police, you know? But nah, I can't, that's not honorable. And I don't even understand. But in 2026, you can't because everyone cop callers. That's a fact. That's a fact. Talking about the little turtle weasel, you know what I mean? He don't hold himself accountable. Mustang 5 slow, absolutely. I'm sure he has a plan in place. He is always one step ahead of them. I mean, and that isn't too hard. You know what I mean? That isn't too hard. You got to do like Turtle Boy, right? What he does, he goes after single mother with benefits, maybe someone kids that made a few mistakes, people that are going through the worst shit of their lives. Them are the people that he targets. He is a predator of the worst kind. See, these ain't corrupt officials. At least I could respect them. These aren't institutions abusing authority. Hey, you got to respect that. These are vulnerable people, single mothers with no father in the home. He tells them this for that. They think, oh, we got baby daddy coming. We got a new baby daddy. Because, mama, her kids are ADD, right? All different daddies. That's how Turtle Boy rocks. He looks for the baby mama with the ADD, and I mean all different daddies. Look, all the shit going on, all them burner phones, and come to find out it was that dude all alone. And now you got Interpol. Isn't Interpol like the FBI of, overseas and stuff, Scotland Yard and all that shit? Now you got them involved. You had that lady Lindsay say that Meredith sent her son a porno of you and Lindsay, and that's the same. And you say Karen Reed put you in jail, sucker. Look, Karen Reed didn't put you in jail. You put yourself in jail. Exactly. He likes to feed the easiest prey. Oh, there's so many disgusting clips. They even said his own daughter walked into him beating his 2-inch monkey. Like, really? Like, in plain view, you disgusting. And what your wife said was even better. That no matter what they say about you, they're exactly right. But now you got a correctional officer sleeping in your bed, huh? But until Karen Reed came along, you was sleeping on the damn couch. He already blocked me and shit. Like I said, he's got them all out here. I'll say it. How does it go? We're working. We're working. Especially this one. This one was Swansea. Yo, everyone in high school, y'all go to house parties, right? And there's always that one. There's always that one that's giving up the nappy tug. Well, that was that one. The possum belly queen of Swansea. Start asking around, people around Swansea. The PBQ queen of Swansea. This girl was saying that another one disrespecting a reputable attorney. You know what I mean? Like, she said that Nan should go back to her country. That there should be a public hanging. Allegedly. You know what I mean? She says stuff like that. Like, who are you? Your name at one time was kind of respectable as a journalist. And then you put your face on camera buying a $20 chocolate bar and a Diet Coke. You know what I mean? These people claim to fight corruption, but spend most of their time humiliating the powerless. Who is the real target? And who the hell's benefiting from this kind of stories? I mean, ask yourself, if your peoples is doing 10 years, or if your peoples is this poor kid. This poor kid went to jail when he was 15 years old. And it's very possible, I think 100%, he didn't do it. And all he wants is a fair trial. Can he get that? They wouldn't even check the other DNA. Watch this little clip.
Did you kill her?
No.
He never accounts for the fact that his blood is in that house. He never explains that away in the tape, and he would not have been able to explain that away at trial. And all of this is that Ed O'Brien has been convicted of killing Janet Downey. That's never going to change.
You know, and that's the thing, man, right?
And he never accounts.
Is because of this guy right here. This is the guy.
You didn't hurt Janet Downey?
No.
Did you kill her?
No.
He never accounts for the fact that his blood is in that house. He never explains that away in the tape, and he would not have been able to explain that away at trial. And all of this is that Ed O'Brien has been convicted of killing Janet Downey. That's never.
Now, the state paid for that test, right? And when the state ends up hearing, you know, what he said, they didn't even want to use it. They didn't find the DNA. There was a little bit on her leg. You know, yeah, he was in the house, and it is suspect, some of the stuff that was going on. People who actually care about rooting or corruption would be interested in Proctor's unit's behavior in the next high-profile MKs. Nobody was interested. Well, nobody was interested because look who's telling the story. I think people could be interested, but you see all this BS going around. You know, you look at Turtle Boy, you know, the words he uses, how he gets away with throwing the N-bomb around. And more people been canceled. That's because, you know, when JFK said this, that because his, you know, the people that watch him accept that type of behavior. Now, I grew up in a multiracial home. My grandma, you know, God rest her soul, you know, she liked the brother. You know what I mean? She, you know, my grandma liked to get down, you know? So I grew up in a multiracial home. My Uncle Lee, my Aunt Lisa, love him to death, my biological aunt and uncle. And I had to hear all my life that I was an N lover. You know what I mean? It started like, and then, you know, it affects me now just to go back and think about that shit. You know what's crazy though? With Turtle Boy's habit of publishing the information about the people, these are the people that he's associated with. Yeah, all them burner accounts have been crazy. And I was going through some of the messages. You know that the ball's on him, right? He had Ghetto Mellow was a burner account. Agreed. Distractions. Focus should be on things like who, if anyone, is 5 Stone's intelligence and other important things. Absolutely. TBS done. You know, and I think, you know, and I gotta say, like, he made it look like that lady Meredith all the time was the 5150 account when it was him. And then he sends Betterow. And then he's criticizing Betterow for being racist, allegedly. And I never knew Betterow had a little thing in him that he didn't like little brothers, allegedly. But you know what? If that's true, Bettero, I can't even look at you anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and then Karen's lawyer, Dave Yannetti. Oh, these people got no life but staying on the internet and following people's cases. Well, you know what? Thousands of people follow your client's case. And then he goes, oh, no, no, no. I'm not talking about an innocent woman. I'm like, Dave, you don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Turtle Boy attacked your client. Turtle Boy called her so many ways to see you next Tuesday. Yes, they all had burner accounts. And I talked about the Miss Nan earlier. And, you know, I don't know Miss Nan, you know, but what I do see is a lot of disrespect going on. And this lady is an attorney, like in the real world. People see this stuff. She does civil litigation. And Nan is out here helping a lot of platforms. You know what I mean? And someone made a comment to me, oh, what is Nan giving you? No, never asked her, never mentioned it. You know, don't even know her like that. But hey, my Cash App is right there on the screen, though. You know what I mean? Times it's up. But yeah, man, the shit that's going on with these guys is kind of crazy, you know? And you really think he went on, you know, Jessica Machado's for nothing? No, because he sent her after Nan and Melanie Little after Nan. They got them two tag teaming her. And Nan's holding her own, standing on integrity from the outside looking in. What did Melanie Little? I'm jealous? You think I'm jealous? Listen, you wouldn't say you think I'm jealous if you wasn't fucking jealous. Any of that. Let's not forget about when you made that confession about the donations for the Karen Reed Criminal Defense Fund. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised because they don't like you anyway if they don't start looking into that defense fund money. I think if that's a nonprofit, I think them books should be requested to be open. If he has like all that, you know, if I believe you could look into his books. People should know what you did with that money. People should know that most likely you're flying Will the Glare first class, all expenses paid, from Tennessee to Boston, so he can come up here and press charges against JFK. You know what, Turtle? It's a small world. It's a small world. He's retaliating against people, got it disguised as righteousness. And it does raise a question, though. If your brand, Turtle, is built on calling other people snitches, why does your own history include so many times of providing information to the police? Riddle me that, motherfucker. Riddle me that. See, you a dude of a different kind. Like, I don't like you. I don't like you a little bit. And I'm not even gonna like, I don't give a, I think they should bury you under the prison. And I'm a convict from way back. I don't think like that. But you a predator, allegedly, of a different type. I don't like what you guys are doing. You took This movement could have been so big, but you mother ruined it. You, the fucking Aunt Debbie character, Will the Glare, you ruined it. This movement could have went somewhere and helped unite a lot of people with their families. We had so many great attorneys that were involved that turned their backs, that already made their money, that probably wouldn't mind doing some pro se work, some good work. There's a lot of people sitting on the line that are doing time, that are never coming home again. And they're in there like, I didn't shit. And then you got Eddie O'Brien. Parole wants him to go there and tell him he didn't, he said, I didn't do it. Only thing changed her was the size of your audience, man. And when the spotlight got bigger, so did your fucking head. Claims of being the driving force behind the case, the hero, the master, the one who blew it open. All right. You was the one that blew it open. But this ain't your fucking story. This ain't your case. You did your job. You're a journalist, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Just like you're supposed to raise a nice young man and a nice family, but you ain't doing that either, so. Your phone. It says Messy Jess is the one who gave Meredith the name 5150. They are all racist too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Justice for Eddie O'Brien. And that's why I get a little emotional. And I knew like I was going to talk about this, guys in prison, trying to get guys out of prison, and how this movement got ruined. How we could have done some great stuff, but people they left. Absolutely. They left and they ruined the movement. Like, we could have done some real good. I'm gonna play a quick song, man, but shout out to all the women out there that are raising kids on their own. I was raised by a single mom, my grandmother's, so this song was written basically, about the woman in our life who raised us.
Listen up, I got a story to tell about the strong women who raised me well. Yo, I grew up in a house full of queens, strong women teaching me to chase my dreams. Saw my mom grind, juggling, working home. Taught me respect, made me feel less alone while you flex your muscles, thinking that's power. I learned true strength in the toughest hour. You swing fists, you think that makes you a man, but real warriors protect, they don't need a hand. Yeah. It's respect over aggression, that's the game we play. Real strength comes from the heart, it ain't just a display. For every queen that raised me, I honor they fight. In a world full of chaos, I'm just seeking mother's wisdom, it echoes in my soul. Treat women with respect, that's how you roll. You think aggression's a sign of your might, but a real man knows how to stand up and fight. For those who can't, for those who are weak, instead of throwing punches, have a heart when you speak.
Yeah, disrespect over aggression, that's the game we play. Real strength comes from the heart, it ain't just a display. But every queen that raised me, I honor they fight. In a world full of chaos, I'm just seeking the light.
You're a king now, you ain't got the throne. Real kings uplift, they're not out here alone. In a world where ego rules, I stay grounded and true. Building up my circle like my mother's taught me to do. So listen close, this isn't just art, it's a testament of strength, straight from the heart. I'm a product of Queens, respect in my veins. Let the legacy live on through joys and the pains.
Yeah, disrespect over aggression, that's the game we play. Real strength comes from the heart, it ain't just a display. For every queen that raised me, I honor their fight. In a world full of chaos, I'm just seeking that light.
Listen up, I got a story to tell about the strong women who raised me well.
You got guys that, you know, before we go, we're gonna Nana's also trashed big time by Aunt Deb, Glare, Messy Jess. I mentioned that earlier, and I said it's kind of disrespectful how they're trashing a reputable attorney, and Nan can take their channels away like that. If Nan wants to know how, reach out. Facts getting away now. Absolutely. But all right, I gotta go get my daughter. Shout out to JFK, Kevy Kev. Hope they're doing good. But Will Henry, you a sucker.
Yeah. You know the story. It's heavy in the air when a father turns to shadows.
Yo, let's keep it real. It's a turtle tail. No detail too small. Yeah. Yeah, you thought it was cool playing those sides, right? Recording Karen, yeah, you lied and denied, man, what a sight. Double down on the mess like it's all a game. Talking big, selling that world, but don't it feel lame? Jokes about her parents thought it'd make you tough, but she lost her home, that struggle is rough. You asked her to rock it with you, to hit the stage, but she turned it down, see who's stuck in the cage. Turtle, where's the hustle, where's the grind? Living on the couch, man, that's no way to unwind. Your case came along, put you on a path. While Karen stays real, you just do the math. Free Karen, we ain't stopping now. Shout out JFK, Kevy Kev holding it down. J Brill with the beast, yeah, we spitting fast.